Hi everyone, it's Arlene. Today's card I will be using the Dashing Deer stamp set. This comes in the new holiday catalog that Stampin' Up! is coming out with, and it is September 5th, I believe. I think in my last video I said it was September 1st, but I believe now it's actually September 5th is the correct date. So I'm using one of the stamp sets from there called the Dashing Deer. It is it has a Thinlit set to go with it that corresponds with it. This is called the Detailed Deer Thinlit set. So I am using this as well to make this card right here. Let me show it to you. Set this aside for now to make this card. So this is called an easel card, and when it lays flat, when you mail it or you give it to the person that you're giving it to, the recipient, but then when they open it up, it actually opens up this way, and it can sit, on the table like this. I'll show it to you what it looks like with the top, but then sideways here and it stands alone like this too, because you've got this little circle right here that catches it to keep it open when it's sitting on display. So isn't that cute? I really like that one. Okay, let me set that aside and I will show you the cardstock that I used. Now the two main colors that I'm using, this is a cherry cobbler cardstock, and the dimensions for this are 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 inches. And then I also scored it down the middle. If you can see that, let me bring the light in a little bit better. You can see that here. And then if you flip it like this, what I did is I scored it, giving it at a diagonal line at the top square up here. So it starts at the top left, and then I just scored it diagonally down to the score line on the bottom right hand side. Okay, and that's going to be the card base. I also have a piece of the garden green, and this is 3 inches by 3 1/4. And then I took a piece of Whisper White cardstock and I just cut it about 1/8 of an inch smaller than this one. So this it would be 2 7/8 by 3 5/8. Those 8s get me all the time. And I ran it through the Big Shot using an embossing folder. This is the Swirls and Curls embossing folder. Again, this is also in the holiday catalog, and you can see how fun this one is. I would like to get things, I know I've talked about it in my other videos, things that you can use year round, and this is definitely one of them. Okay, so I ran it through already, and this is what it looks like. And then I will be just matting it onto the garden green like this. Now I also have a couple of pieces of some pattern paper, and this is the Dashing Along pattern paper, and there's going to be a special next month, so look for that on this paper. What I did is I took a 4x4 piece of the pattern paper, and then I cut it diagonally so I have a triangle. This is the other side. They have some wonderful patterns this year in this catalog. And then I also have a piece of 4 1/4 by, or is it 4 1/8? 4 1/8 by, actually it's 4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. The same pattern paper like that. And then I took a small circle and I've already stamped it just to save on time, but I stamped the Many Merry Thanks, and that is in the set, or that is in the Dashing Deer stamp set with Whisper White. And I just used these Thinlits, which are the layering circles. And then I took a little bit bigger piece, again using from the same Dashing Along Designer Series paper. There's the other side. Took that, and then a piece of the garden green that I have cut out like that, and we're going to layer that. Okay, so let me go ahead and get this put together, and then we will come back and finish our card. Okay, so we have got them assembled so far like this. Now the next thing that I did is I took a piece of, this is the gold Glimmer paper, and when you order it you get 2 sheets of 12 by 12, and if you can see that, it's gorgeous. This is so bright, and in the light it just sparkles. I took the Thinlits, and I used the deer, and I cut that out from a piece of that from the gold glimmer paper. And I got this. Look how pretty that is. Just love this. Very, very nice. Okay, and then I'm going to actually glue that right onto my embossed paper here. And I'm going to just do it really quickly, just for the sake of saving some time. You don't have to watch all of it here. Watch me putting on some glue. I'm using some liquid glue. One, because it's very thin, you know, the little antlers. And then two, if you need to reposition it, when you use liquid glue, it's easier to move around a little bit, rather than if the snail adhesive, sometimes because it's a dry adhesive, once it's down, sometimes it's down, especially with these delicate antlers here. Okay, so now let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and glue it onto the front of my card. And I want to fold this front here. Okay, so it's folded down like that. And then when I'm gluing it, so I want the fold to be on the left-hand side, so that when I open it, it will stand like this and the deer will be standing upright. And I also want to make sure that when I'm gluing this down, I'm not gluing it onto the top piece of my card, because when I'm folding it, of course, I want it to stand up. So sometimes what I do is I take like a little white pen or a gel pen or a colored pencil. I position it right where I want it to be. I fold it, keeping it like so, and then the back, just quickly draw like a little white line right there. So that helps me know not to add adhesive onto the other side above that line. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to use some snail here. Okay, and then let's put that on like this. And you see how that glitter just really makes it stand out. It's pretty. And then I'm going to open it up. I already have my pattern paper right here. I also have a piece of, this is some black ribbon. This is again in the holiday line. It's in the like the Halloween section, but it is the, what is this actually called? It's black organdy, glittered organdy ribbon. It's got some bling to it. So I'm just going to tie it. Okay, so sorry about that. My phone decided to run out of storage. So guess what? I had to delete a few things. So anyway, I just made a knot here, knotted that with some ribbon, and then I placed it, the circle cutout that had the stamp, and then it's layered with the pattern paper and then the garden green behind that. And I added some little mini Stampin' Dimensionals down at the bottom. And that way, when you close the card here, it's going to be where the fold is at the left, but then when you open it up, it actually stands this way, and it will lay flat, and you'll be able to display it like this. And there you have it, a quick, fairly quick, fun card, because it's with a little different fold. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Thank you for subscribing and clicking that like button, and have a great day.